All right, good evening, everybody. This is the regularly scheduled board meeting for October 14th, 2025. Close meeting to order. And what please down me to I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please call roll?
President Arcata.
Here.
Director Loudonslager.
Here.
Director Mendoza.
Here.
Director Johnson.
Here.
And Director Meaner is absent. You have a form.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Also move.
Second. A motion and a second. The clerk please call roll.
President Arcata.
Yes.
Director Loudonslager.
Yes.
Director Mendoza.
Yes.
Director Johnson. Yes. And Director Meaner is absent.
Okay, moving on to public comment and association reports. The first one we have is AVFA.
So I'm Roy Willis, State Volunteer Firefighter Association. Thank you for taking the time. You guys all have this in your packet. Real quick, 50 hours of local volunteer time in the month of September. We did some AVFA, did some prep for the all open house. I think it went real well. It was for the CPR station. And also, Ron Nakamoto put together a PowerPoint presentation that really reflected all the grants and the people and associations that have given us the grants to the district and the association over the last few years. So it was really well presented. Hope you guys had a chance to see that. It was a nice little PowerPoint. Quite a few CPR classes, over 200 students. We Green Diamond had 2 classes, wing inflatables. So it was really good turnout for BLS and first aid. The Green Diamond Nozzle and Simpson Family Foundation rental, they should be hearing about those real soon. The funding for those grants. The slip-in pump, I understand, is getting ordered. And so of course, we're gonna go pick it up, put it in something. And the drones are ordered, I understand as well. So those are happening. The security system is waiting for to get back to it in October, sometime this month. And, so it's actually going real well. Central Coast Chicks also should be announced this month. I just want to remind everybody to plan November 14th, Christmas Flash Holiday Dinner at the Masonic Lodge. Please, everybody invited. Please try to attend. We'll start after RSVs probably early, but it's already scheduled. It's already catered already. We just need to have a good turnout. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. And I had a great discussion with Rod there at the open house. Yeah. Thanks. Anything from local court 81? We have another report. Thank you very much. And we do have one matter in closed session, so we will adjourn to closed session this time. nothing to report, right?
Nothing was working.
Nothing to report.
Gotta say what you did. That's not a session.
Oh,
Well, that's true, yeah.
so we're back from, closed session and, we signed, just we signed it.
Finalized the annual.
The chief is evaluation.
We, gave the chief his evaluation and it was signed by all the board members present. Moving on to the consent calendar. Consent calendar items are considered routine and are acted upon by the board with simple action. Members of the audience wishing to provide public input may request that the board remove the item from the consent calendar. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes. Is there any board or board member that would like a specific item removed from the consent calendar? Seeing no takers. Is there any director who would like to make a motion?
And if we approve the consent calendar,
A second.
With a motion and a second, will the clerk please call roll?
President McConnell,
Yes.
Director Ross Slayers,
Yeah.
Herman Joseph,
Yes.
Director Jonathan. Yes. And Director Mina is absent. Motion.
Moving on to district business. Calendar. Item number 1 is conducting a public hearing to consider ordinance 25-23, adopting the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code and 2024 International Fire Code with certain local amendments. Chief, do you have a staff report for us?
Sure. So this started last month as far as the fire code. The item involved consideration of an ordinance adopting 2025 edition of the California Fire Code and 2024 International Fire Code with certain local amendments and additions. Every 3 years, the California Building Standards Commission publishes model codes such as the California Fire Code, Building Code, Mechanical Code, Plumbing Code, etc. Once published, local agencies have 180 days to make additions or amendments based on local conditions. If no changes are made during this 180-day window, the model codes become effective. Based on the 180-day cycle, the district has until January 1st, 2026 to make local changes. For the last several code adoption cycles, the Humboldt County Fire Prevention Officers have met and cooperatively reviewed the model code. The proposed ordinance represents a cooperative effort to develop standard ordinance language. While some minor changes occur between jurisdictions, the end result is a more consistent cooperative approach to fire safety issues, making it easier for contractors and developers to work within each jurisdiction. I won't go through all of these, but as you can see, these are the proposed changes to the to ordinance 25-23. We've got a list of those there, and those are the standard changes that we do along with other agencies. Procedurally, typically the board conducts a public hearing on a proposed ordinance at the time of introduction and first reading. California Government Code sections 50022.1 requires a slightly different procedure for an ordinance that is adopting another code by reference, as in the case here. When code is adopted by reference, the public hearing must be scheduled after the first reading at the time of the second reading and adoption. Staff's recommendation is that the board adopt the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code and 2024 International Fire Code with certain local amendments.
Chief, any board members have questions or comments?
are we gonna open another public hearing before we adopt that?
I think we have to, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have to open it tonight, right? I believe that's how it.
If I remember right, last month we just did the reading in name only.
Correct.
Tonight we open the hearing.
Here, correct. Yes, I believe so. Is that correct? Open, closed, and voted on here.
Any other questions or comments from the board? But from the public, have questions or comments? If I remember correctly from last month, this was pretty straightforward. Something we are, if I remember, required to do.
Once you approve it, then we also go to the city of Arcata and county of Humboldt, which then they then adopt our changes.
And if I remember correctly, Humboldt Fire, all fire jurisdictions have to do this.
Yes.
All I have, anybody else have any questions or comments? Guess that means the public, period is now closed. So do we have a motion?
I move that the board adopt the 2025 edition of the California Fire Code and 2024 International Fire Code with certain local amendments.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion has a second. Will the clerk please call that?
Okay, President McConnell,
Yes.
Director Loudonfire,
Yes.
Director Mendoza,
Yes.
Director Johnson? Yes. Members absent.
Thank you. Moving on to district business item number 2. This is considering the schedule to set the dates and time for the regular board meetings for the year 2026. I believe we should say in the title.
Yeah, you're right.
And
That's cut and paste. The traps of cut and paste.
we've all done that. Is there a second for this?
Yes. So the board policy manual addresses the dates, time, and location for board meetings. Article 7, Section 7.1 states regular meetings of the Fire District Board shall be held at the Arcata Fire Station, 631 9th Street, Arcata, on the second Tuesday of each month at 5:30 p.m. unless by specific action of the board, state legislation, or governor's executive order. California Government Code Sections 54-950, the Brown Act, and specifically Code Section 54-854 defines regular meetings as meetings occurring at the dates, times, and locations set by resolution, ordinance, or other formal action by the legislative body and are subject to 72-hour posting requirements. California Government Code Section 54-956 defines a special meeting as meetings called by the presiding officer or majority of the legislative body to discuss only discrete items on the agenda under the Brown Act's notice requirements for special meetings and are subject to 24-hour posting requirements. The requirement of the law is that the regular meetings not be deviated from for regular business and that regular non-urgent business not be dealt with during a special meeting. As such, staff recommends directors consider the dates for the 2026 regular board meetings presented in attachment 1. The 2026 meeting dates are being presented in advance of the new year to allow the directors and staff time to consider their personal schedules for next year, as well as plan ahead for any dates they are aware they will not be present for any other reason. Dates can be changed prior to adoption of the schedule. Following adoptions of the resolution, regular meeting dates cannot be changed and replaced with special meetings. There's no action needed tonight. This was an opportunity to open the discussion topic because I know there had previously been some discussion about changing the dates. And if we do have to change, or if we do end up changing the dates, we also need to update the policy that goes along with it. So nothing has to be decided tonight. We just wanted to give the opportunity for everybody to discuss anything that might come up with.
Does anybody have any questions or comments for the chair?
We're just considering one of the 3 options, either Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday.
So this was, I asked you to bring this on because due to some family changes,
Mhm.
it's hard for me to meet on Tuesdays.
Okay.
So I
So
was
really
asking,
Wednesday and Thursday are the options.
yes.
Okay.
And I think the majority of everybody, I know you and I talked,
Mhm.
and the rest of us talked about this at the last meeting. I believe everybody was okay with Thursday. If that has changed, I'd like to know.
Thursday, I think, would be better because the city council meets on Wednesdays, that we have some business to take up with them, which is coming up on this agenda as well. And if we end up needing to go to a city council meeting, it would be nice to be able to not miss our board meeting.
And that would be the second Thursday. Is everybody good with that? The same week, just different day.
Times me.
May.
And, I see the chief gave us the different options. I did go through the calendar, of the proposed meetings. There didn't seem to be anything that prevent us from having, like a holiday landing on one of those days or anything. And they all were the second Thursday. So I did check that. So maybe next month in November, you can bring it back to us with only the second Thursdays on.
And if directed, I can also bring back the policy with the changes. I need to research if it has to have an ordinance with it to change the policy. Like if that has to take 30 days to the next meeting, I don't remember off the top of my head, but, I can bring that language as well. So we might be able to, take care of both of those things.
And we have to change our website,
Yes.
things like that.
Okay.
So that's what the board wants to direct me to do, then I'll do that.
Is there any other questions?
It's not gonna be a quick question this Thursday, but the third Wednesday is when DLU trains. Thank you. The third Wednesday.
That's good enough. Thanks. So the second Thursday is good, is a good night. Any other questions from the public? Or the board? Does somebody want to make a motion?
Well, he said.
Just direct.
We could do a motion if you wanted to get it done.
We would still have to vote on the ordinance and stuff.
I think you need a motion to bring it back for Thursday and to, research the policy. Do you need that?
Change the
No,
policy.
it's just direction.
Or just
Yeah,
direct-
just direction.
Okay,
So what I'm hearing direction is bring it back with the second Thursday and the language updating the policy as well for next.
Yes, good, thank you. Then on to district business item number 3, the City of Arcata Coastal Plan. We have a staff report, please.
Sure. I believe it was the September meeting, Director Loudslayer requested that the City of Arcata Local Coastal Program update be placed on the agenda for the September meeting for discussion. The City of Arcata will be updating the local coastal program. This is a broader component of the city's general plan. The LCP provides policy framework and development for land use in the coastal zone. The Arcata Planning Commission meets tonight. Per the July Arcata Planning Commission meeting, the commission is recommending the LCP for approval. The LCP will then go before the Arcata City Council on October 15th for approval, which is tomorrow night. The Arcata Fire District Board discussed the item and provided direction to staff to draft a letter expressing concerns over the Arcata Fire District's capacity to handle fires and incidents within the coastal zone. Staff and Director Loudslayer spoke with representatives at the California Coastal Commission who advised staff and Director Loudslayer of laws and procedures within their purview related to public safety within the LCP. The board directed the letter be sent from the board to the California Coastal Commission, Arcata City Council and staff, and the Arcata Planning Commission. The letter that was drafted and forwarded to the above agencies is attached. Staff recommends that the board consider the information provided, take public comment, discuss the topic, and provide additional direction to staff.
Thank you, Chief. Do any board members have questions or comments?
I have a question for Eric. I received an email from Casey Evans. That, I don't know if you want to handle that?
Well, I received it as well, and I responded to it and told him that I would bring it to the attention of the chief and the chief's side. And then I looked at our meeting and saw that it was sent to David Lloyd, the planning director. And so the only thing that wasn't done is was not posted to the agenda for tonight for the planning commission. And so I didn't do anything about that yesterday, holiday. And so I guess we will deal with it today, whether there should be a follow-up to the request.
Yeah, David, I sent it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did follow up with them that it was sent to them.
It was sent, yeah.
Okay. So and I can't remember exactly what they call it, but we may want to check and see that Casey Evans in his email had the correct jargon for the city's site, that they put all the external communications so people can see them. And so it would be good to do a check to see whether it's there. And if it's not, do a follow-up request that it is. And I looked at both the planning commission and the city council are deferring their consideration of the LCP until February 17th. And so we now have additional time to contemplate whether there's any follow-up. As a bit of background, so I met and the chief met with the manager of the Arcata office of the planning or the coastal commission, the staff, and they were surprised, taken aback that the city was planning things that they didn't have coverage for, and was appreciative that we delivered to them the relevant portion of the lawsuit that HARP had with the Coastal Commission over the 5-story hotel at the casino outside of Trinidad. And basically what they told us is that they have some sort of iterative process that I don't completely understand. And when the Coastal Commission is uncomfortable with elements in the coastal plan, they apparently tell the city, and the city goes through some sort of iterative process of trying to correct it. And the planning or the Coastal Commission will either accept the LCP or not accept the LCP. They won't put contingencies in it. They won't make it like this is approved contingent on that you have to do something else. And in this case, they asked us to send a letter to the city asking them to do these things, and that would give a nexus for the Coastal Commission staff to bring it up with them during this iterative process. And that's the way they wanted to do it. And whether we should follow up now with the Coastal Commission staff to make sure that they've received their letter, and well, that's none of our, whether their interactions with the city are something that we should keep a distance from. I have no advice or recommendation in that regard. Once the LCP is at the penultimate approval point with the Coastal Commission, they also will have a 30 or 90 day, some period where they'll have, this is it, public hearing, and then 30 or 90 days, and then another public hearing, and then it gets adopted. So the Coastal Commission was not anticipating that this would be done within the next year. They thought that the city was way out ahead of themselves and had lots of work to do, and that it would be at least a year before the Coastal Commission was having meetings. Does that comport with
That's
what you've heard? And so exactly when the next time we should interface with someone, I'm not completely sure. I was thinking about, but uncertain whether I was going to go to the city council meeting tomorrow night to hear the conversation that, because it's on their business agenda for tomorrow night. And so whether city council members will continue to just say ignore us, or whether they'll actually identify that some of the elements raised in the letter should be incorporated into the plan. I'd be interesting to hear that conversation.
Can I make a suggestion that, I'm looking at the planning commission's agenda for tonight and I don't see it there. They've changed their format, so I don't believe it's there. So instead of just going to the council, I would, someone should go talk to the city manager, not get him off. But I think it'd be good to go to the manager first.
We did,
We did,
yeah, so this went to the city.
about this not going to getting onto the agenda.
No, so let me back up. We sent this to city manager, city clerk, planning commission, coastal commission.
Correct.
Yeah.
We sent it, but whether he saw it or not, I mean, we probably get 100 things sent every day. I'm just saying, just out of fairness and protocol, contact him and express the park board's concern that was sent and it didn't get on the planning commission's agenda. It could be just a simple matter of talking to him and should be able to take care of the issue without us, dialing it up and going to the council and bringing online television and, I think that that would be a more good way to go. That's just my recommendation. And if you're comfortable talking to him, that's fine. If you want me to call him, I can do it too, but whatever.
No, I talked to him. He wasn't present at our department head meeting last week. I don't know because I wasn't present this week.
I think just an email, that's what I'd recommend. He's good at answering emails. Just say, it didn't get, for whatever reason, it didn't get put on the planning commission's agenda. And, if he's in agreement, if he could make sure that it gets on the next one, we'd appreciate it. If there's more discussion, that needs to take place, then please let us know.
Yeah, the planning commission agenda that I saw included the item that it was being postponed, that, the little paragraph of that it was still in an iterative process and it was gonna come back up on, February 17th. That was in the agenda as a business item, but our letter wasn't there. So I don't know what you're looking at and whether it subsequently changed. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't check what I looked at.
No, it's just the agenda for tonight, which they're working on.
Yeah, is that,
Let's see.
I mean, I looked at it through the Lost Coast Outpost. They always have it, so I clicked on the link and so.
And we did contact the city clerk to make sure, you actually spoke with her, didn't you?
I sent it to her, yeah.
Oh, you sent it to her, okay. But she did respond to you that she would make sure.
Rhea, I think she told me that she received it.
Okay.
That's a common thing that happens between planning department and, they have a lot of people coming in, wanting to put things on there. They pick and choose and, in this case, I think we have it would be, we have a duty to take exception with that decision. And I think that our constituents deserve to have that issue heard.
I will follow up with the city manager.
So do you need, direction was good enough for that?
Yeah, I'm good at this point, because it sounds like it's postponed until February, and then that'll give us time to decide if we want to add any additional mitigations or.
Well, there could be other agenda items between now and then.
Yeah.
So we want to I think the point is, we want our letter to be part of the packet for whenever it's discussed between now and when it's decided in February. They could end up having workshops or study sessions. I mean, there could be a lot of different things that could go on with that issue. There could be discussions with the coastal commission staff. I mean, we feel it's an important part of that issue. So we, if there's a problem with that, let us know, but we feel it's important that is part of that our letter is part of that packet for the consideration of the issue.
And Did I open it to public comment yet? Is there any? Question from the board. Okay, Zach, you have your direction. Thank you, everybody. Moving on to district business item number 4. Yeah. Consider authorization for the purchase of a replacement vehicle. Chief, do you have a staff report?
Sure. Utility 8205, which is the 2010 Ford F-150 that Assistant Chief Peabody drives as his normally assigned vehicle, currently has just over 155,000 miles on it. The vehicle is used as his primary duty officer vehicle, strike team leader vehicle, and as the duty qualified captain vehicle. Currently, the other 2 chief officers' utilities have half the mileage on them that Assistant Chief Peabody's vehicle does. They are equipped better for out-of-county responses as strike team leader vehicles and daily staff vehicles. Of the fleet of staff utility vehicles that the district operates, the Assistant Fire Chief pickup has over 155,000 miles on it, but is still running well. Staff is recommending that the vehicle that replaces Utility 8205 be assigned as the Fire Chief vehicle, and the current Ford F-150 Assistant Fire Chief vehicle be moved into reserve status. It would then serve as the duty captain vehicle when the duty captains serve in that capacity, and as such, reduce the daily mileage and wear. Currently, staff has located a used vehicle in another jurisdiction that has all of the lighting, wiring, and upfitting needs in place. It's a 2022 Chevy SUV that has served as a department head vehicle and has lower mileage than the current fire chief vehicle. The vehicle would need some minor lighting reprogramming or programming changes, radios added, and agency graphics added. However, this is far less than completely upfitting another new vehicle. During the fiscal year 25-26 budget development process, staff planned for an additional staff vehicle and placing the vehicle that Assistant Chief Peabody is assigned into reserve status. This was included in the current budget and meets the capital improvement plan. Staff recommends the board consider the information provided, discuss, take public comment, and authorize staff to purchase a used vehicle and outfit it as a chief officer vehicle not to exceed $75,000. That includes the purchase, tax and licensing and fees, shipping, graphics, and radios.
Chief. Any board members have questions or comments?
Is this in the budget? Is this a line item in the budget? I don't remember seeing it, but.
Yeah, it was one, I think there's 2 vehicles we've actually planned on in this budget. One for the chief, and I believe one was a utility that we were looking at replacing for VLU.
You say shipping, where's it coming from?
East Coast.
Road.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a steady burning red.
No, actually, it had steady burning reds, but it had blues intermingled in it.
Oh,
It was, yeah, so unfortunately, it has to have, I don't know how the programming works, but it has to be reprogrammed to get rid of the blues. It has a box in the back, like an incident command box, SCBA box. It's, thing has a lot of lights on it, I know that, some of them being blue in the back. But, had 60,000 miles on it, which is less than when I drive right now, which is at 80.
So is it just reprogramming to get the blues out of there?
I think so.
Change bulbs?
So I asked the salesman, he said there's 2 lights on the side of the license plate, upright, rectangular lights. He said those would have to be replaced because those aren't programmable. And then he thought that the blue light and the tail lights would have to be replaced, but he thought everything else was a programmable issue. I asked my son because he did the upfitting on the truck that I currently drive, and he said typically it's a programming thing, and the way they do it, they literally take the hot wires and touch them.
So it meets California smog?
I would assume so. Most vehicles do now. I haven't found one that doesn't, that's new. I
I
don't,
always have, could you have small before I got shut down?
it would have to be California smog, but I can ask, because normally what happens is they put a sticker on there that says as 50 state legal or whatever. how they do it. I know the truck that I bought in 2007, I had to pay extra for that sticker.
Any public comments or questions? You guys are awfully quiet tonight.
Oh, it's a Chevy. SUVs is changing kind of a protocol for you guys instead of pickups, so. Different. We got some pickups, we got SUVs too.
Is it a Tahoe or Suburban?
Any other questions or comments? If not, then I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we recommend that, we authorize staff to purchase a used vehicle and outfit it as a chief officer vehicle, not to exceed $75,000.
Just to add in, I will confirm that it is California legal before I do anything.
I'll second.
Motion and second, will the clerk please call?
President O'Connor,
Yes.
Vice President Johnson, sorry, I was calling you the wrong thing. Yes, okay. Director Mendoza,
Yes.
Director Laudenslager,
Yes,
and Director Manners absent.
If I'm not giving you enough time to write or take notes,
There you
yell at me, throw something
go.
at me.
Motion passed. Motion carries.
Okay, this is item number 5, the government relations discussion. Chief, you want to read the
Sure.
first?
This is the regular hearing topic, agenda item. At the February Board of Directors meeting, the board requests to place a government relations item on the future agendas to allow for discussion of ongoing items that impact the Arcata Fire District, such as community projects, relationships, and other government entities, and future planning topics. Staff recommends that the board consider the information provided, take public comment, and discuss ongoing topics.
Anybody have anything they want to bring up in addition to what we've already discussed, or continue with what we've already discussed?
I do.
Go ahead.
So at our, study session with the city council and Cal Poly Humboldt, as reported in the Arcata or Mad River Union, I had a very nice conversation with the members from the university contingent, and they offered to, they wanted to have increased communications. They said that they could help us with perhaps, lobbying, perhaps, for instance, dealing with things at the state level. It would be nice if we could follow up with that with them and see what we could get going. We continue to go forward with the state is including, there's another tall building being built, the state is building away, and we continue to be under equipped, under trained, and under prepared to meet that. I really very much appreciated their acknowledgement of that. And I acknowledge that they can't pay property taxes to contribute to that, but nevertheless, it is a unique thing, and I would greatly appreciate it if they could help us. Because I know that we've had, Senator McGuire indicated that there could be a state remedy at one point. So I'd be very interested in pursuing that path. So I just want to say that, I don't know how to do that, who does it, whatever, but I'd like to take them up on their offer.
I would too. That's wonderful. Do you feel comfortable telling the chief who you talked to, or do you want to?
I don't remember their name. It was the two women that were from Cal Poly Humboldt, was it?
Chief of Staff Bethany Gilden and Chris Kazera, who's
Bethany and Chris, yes.
Vice President of Risk Management, yeah.
So
And then I think Mike Fisher, was he here?
he was here, but I don't think he was part of the full conversation. It was Bethany and Chris were the ones that were really interested, seemed very interested expressed a great interest in helping us. So I would love to see something happen on that.
Yeah, just adding, they did come to our open house, on the 4th, and we chatted with them at pretty great length. That came up again.
I think if we could get something together, I just want to say at this point, I think that would be something that would be very beneficial to include the local on that. And that with those collaborations, because these are the folks that are the boots on the ground that can address, not that you guys can't, but I think it's helpful to have the people that are actually facing these issues as a part of the discussion, if we can start that up. Because there's a lot of things going on television, and a lot of people have impressions about how things work, and it's often not the case. And we want to keep this in the reality zone. So that's just, it would be great if the state, for instance, one of the remedies that I could see, just brainstorming, is CAL FIRE is now year-round. Trinidad is way far away. Why not relocate the Trinidad station closer to Arcata? It's closer to state resources, buildings, and also, we've changed our auto aid, our auto aid with our volunteer agencies has kind of dried up. So it seems like it's a really good time to have that discussion. I mean, CAL FIRE is already moving from Fortuna to Rio Del. It would be great if we could have a CAL FIRE station. It'd make a huge difference if we had a CAL FIRE station within our response area here that could help us with towards the personnel needs for responding to state facilities. That's just one brainstorm idea. But that would require Sacramento General Services Administration and Sacramento, etc.
I think any solution is gonna require Sacramento.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the new president will think. I don't know what the interim president has thought, but it would seem that it needs to be a multi-pronged communication of university and senior university staff communicating to the state legislature and our representatives that they recognize that we don't have the resources that they need to take care of their buildings.
As a parent that has sent two children, two graduated high schoolers off to other cities to live in university residence halls, it's an issue of concern, that the local fire department, I know in one case, the fire department actually came in and addressed us on opening day. And that was in a CSU town. That was in San Luis Obispo. The fire chief came in and addressed how they can respond to fires in the residence halls. We can't do that. I mean, it's not a fire trap, but we can't provide those assurances because we only have 6 firefighters covering 60 square miles. And, you get a floor that's full of toxic smoke. We don't have enough people to theoretically or likely to handle that. So these are things that I think that we have a responsibility to follow up. We can't fix everything, but I don't think sitting back and ignoring it and just shrugging our shoulders is the key thing to do. We need to keep trying.
Very well said. I agree.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, I think maybe we can give the chief direction to try to continue the conversations that Director Mendoza had at the joint study session with Bethany and Chris. And try to move forward with some ideas, including the suggestions that Director Mendoza had, and anything else that comes up. I think, unless we, I think we need a motion. I think direction is good enough. Because I think that what Director Mendoza, what I hear him saying kind of is that he has started the ball rolling. I think we should keep it moving.
Well, I'd like to see a plan. I'd like to see something put together. What that is to be determined with further consultations with our colleagues at the university, say, but
Shouldn't take long. And I, having spent 30 years up there, we're caught in a sort of a catch-22 in that there's no actual legal jurisdictional issue there. State fire marshal approves the building. There's no state law that says there has to be personnel. And so there's a gap in the law. And if having worked there for 30 years, if you went with, in my area, working with live animals and with science stuff, if there were violations that could affect accreditation or USDA authorizations and stuff that would impact grant monies and other funding streams that were coming to the university, they could turn things around really, really quickly. And so drag this out and out and out. And once again, and from my standpoint, and I said it at the joint study session, I have yet to actually hear, in spite of what Alex said, that, yeah, they know we need more help. But that aside, we have not heard from the city and city council or the university that they acknowledge that we need more staffing and that we don't have capacity to provide emergency services that they need in their structures. Put it in, in a letter, in writing. They actually say that. So they can shake their heads, yes, acknowledge things, but until they act on our behalf with state sources, it's not going to go very far. And of course, one of my concerns is that any hint that additional revenues that we ask for in benefit assessments or special taxes, that the public looks at that as an effort to get them to fund emergency services for 6 and 7 story dorms is not a good look.
we had dinner at one of our local restaurants the other night, and the tax was sales tax, the 10% already in liberal Arcata. So as we go forward to try to ask for additional property taxes, that's gonna be tough. Arcata has voted for the district in the past, but with a 10% local sales tax, that's gonna be hard,
Plus all the medical increases that's gonna come
Right.
to people, everything's gonna be really tight.
So the road ahead looks tough.
During that meeting, my concern I think I heard it a little differently. When they were talking about rallying the students to lobby, I thought they were talking about rallying the students to lobby the local community for, you know, voter initiatives, not rallying the students to,
Well, this was a sidebar discussion.
no, I understand.
But they did say, I believe, by my impression, that they are willing to help us with an initiative. They have resources, digital resources, marketing resources, and that's, I believe that, I hope I'm characterizing what they were saying properly, but their marketing resources could greatly help us with, our next initiative, updating the benefit assessment perhaps, or, renewing Measure F. So those are things that were thrown out. So I'm very interested in pursuing that, and anything I can do, please let me know.
You have everything?
I will say that we staff and, the Cal Poly staff, we talk fairly often, probably weekly, if not every other week, about different aspects of this. Like I said, at the open house, Bethany specifically said, hey, we need to get together on another meeting and see what we can do together. So they are open to those discussions. So it's aligning calendars and getting everybody in the same room.
Well, we could make an agenda item and just, if we have a light agenda, we could even have an extended agenda item at one of our regular meetings and include the entire board. Sure. We have time, if we don't have a long agenda.
Try to get the new president.
That's actually one of the things I've asked that we can meet with them.
Yes, important idea to get contact with the president early and get a relationship developed.
So I'm gonna ask that we keep this as a reoccurring issue so it doesn't get lost.
It is.
So do you have your direction? You understand your direction?
I greatly appreciate, the board recognizing the importance for having local representation. And I will 100% clear my schedule to be there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And moving on to correspondence and communications.
Like we see what was attached, we had various groups that attached, or sent us some cards in recognition. Obviously, it was 9/11 last month, so there were some school kids that reached out. We had a whole stack. I mean, we literally had a stack like that, so we just.
I just take my two favorites.
Yeah. So, it is nice to hear from school age kids that were never around during 9/11 and they're being taught about it. So, it was nice to hear from the classes. Additionally, we've got the Bay City Leadership Academy, invitation. I sent that out to the, duty qualified captains, and we've got one that is taking it up and will be attending it. Ross attended last year and found it was pretty beneficial. So we're supportive of that. And that's essentially an academy. It's being taught by Karen Deemer and Will Folger, former city manager of Arcata and the current HR director for the city of Eureka. And what's nice about this program is it's a lot of local department heads, administrative level folks that they're getting the opportunity to work together and discuss leadership strategies, and basically don't afraid. When you're in there, it's an opportunity to learn different strategies. And if you need to call somebody up, you can reach out to Chief Stevens at EPD or whoever it may be. So that's the benefit of that program. And we'll continue to support sending folks to it if they want to attend.
I read through it and it sounds like a good program.
And also in addition to that, we have other folks that are, Captain Willard, for instance, he is currently working through his chief officer. Yeah, you're currently working on your chief officer certification, so, that shouldn't, we shouldn't fail to recognize that as well. So we've got folks that are pushing themselves in various aspects and supportive of doing that.
Now, is that the chief officer stuff, is that part of, Maryland?
No, I think this is the state of California chief officer through Shasta, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Moving on to committee reports. Director Maynor is not here. He is the AVFA, Local 481, and AFPD Relations Ad Hoc Committee. Directors Johnson and Loudslider are the Budget Committee. Is there anything for you guys?
No.
And the Chiefs Evaluation Committee, we just signed the Chiefs' new contract. Or eval, sorry. Eval tonight.
Well, the only thing is that, as a standing committee, is the president and past president, so starting January 1st, that will be a new committee membership.
Yes, Director, or President Johnson. Fire Chief's monthly report.
Okay, I'll hit the highlights on this. Last month, there was a mountain bike event up in the Arcata Community Forest. I actually went up and provided medical standby with the Gator and stood by with Arcata Ambulance. Both were we were donating our time to it for that. It was a pretty cool event, actually, to watch people going off some big jumps up there. I would never do anything like that. Some of those, and I'll say kids, because there truly were some kids that were 10, 11, 12 years old that, man, those kids could fly. Let's see, we did provide standby at the Cal Poly Humboldt Color Day, and we did bill directly to them. It was a request of them, and they also were the ones that brought it up that they would be willing to pay prior to anything else. So we generated an invoice at the hourly rate of an engine company for the time it was there. We were notified through the Cal OES system that the Green Fire Strike Team that Assistant Chief Peabody went out on, the invoice was paid by Cal OES. It was 69,000 and some change, if I remember correctly. And then the Dillon Fire Task Force Leader assignment that he was on was approved and sent to Cal OES for payment. And that is currently sitting in the queue awaiting the state to approve that one. Standards of cover, City of Arcata and Cal Poly Humboldt staff want to engage in an SOC CRA task force discussions with the momentum that has been built between staff members. That one, again, comes back to the same folks that we chatted about before, as well as City Manager Merritt Perry. He has folks that he wants to have as part of the task force. We had the 9/11 tribute dinner to us and Arcata PD at the Six Rivers Masons 9/11 dinner, and they presented us with a $1,500 donation. Us and APD each. Let's see, I went to the Arson Task Force meeting. Our numbers have been dwindling, but we actually had 4 new members from local agencies coming in. So that was good to see some new faces and letting them know that we can provide training as a task force. And then at the time that I typed this, we had 3 fire engineer applicants. We now have 5 applicants. So we'll be moving forward with an interview process. Let's see, grants. So the Humboldt Area Foundation, it was time to update the reporting for the restoration mental health. So I updated that and gave them the stats for how many the usage report annually for us. And so we closed out that grant. Safer, my guess is it's probably on hold right now just because of the government shutdown. There's nothing to report on it, although we did hear that from the grant company that if we didn't hear in the first, if we haven't heard anything yet, we probably didn't get notified or get the grant on the first round.
They're probably all,
Yeah, I'm sure. Simpson still pending for firefighter wellness. Berg, Roy mentioned applied for the cost share for a multi-use utility vehicle. Should hear this month or next, I believe. California Fire Foundation received the grant for the drone and training. And I believe last week, Wayne and Dave White got together with the sheriff's office, who has a drone program, and they actually determined, and I think you were there too, determined what drone to purchase. And was it ordered? It was ordered, wasn't it?
We just received, draft policy. We're doing kind of all the legwork
Gotcha.
prior to receiving it, so that way we're not scrambling.
Right.
Once we have a bird that people want to fly.
Yeah, and it's not like running to Walmart and picking one off the shelf and flying it. There's actually a lot of, you actually have to be certified as a drone pilot, right?
Correct. There's gotta be FAA certifications and then specific use that we're gonna be looking at. Need some additional safety precautions like prop guards, and it needs to have a parachute arrest system in case
Is that
it falls
right?
out of the sky.
Wow.
Just a couple of additions that we have to throw into this thing.
So how do you get the FAA certification?
That's a great question. I'm following, Sergeant Lucy's, with HCSO, following his, right on how they, that I believe, Dave White is kind of the point of contact on the training aspect. I think that's kind of the portion that he's been assigned with this.
We did, first,
sure. The first due RMS program that we have been in the process of starting for the last 8 months. As of October 1st, all the crews are writing reports in the system. This week, we're doing training on inspections, so they'll be transitioning over, and that should take us out of the previous program that we used. There's still some little bugs that we're trying to work out, but everything is starting to transfer over smoothly and working right.
the one thing about this program is it's, so historically what we've used is NEFRs or NFRs for all of our national reporting, requirements, and they're dropping that in January, correct?
Yeah, California switching in November, but NFRS is going away as of January 1st. It'll be nearest, which is a completely different system to write reports in.
And our program is compliant with it, whereas ERS, the one we're going away from, is not compliant. Oh, the duty qualified captain hours, they did 96 hours of acting time last month, and our company officers acted 240 hours last month. So they put in quite a bit of acting time. Incidents, although it was one of the busiest months, these are some of the bigger incidents we had. We've seen a lot of increase in transient related fires down along the Mad River, Greenbelt area. We had 4 fires in 3 days. Had a driftwood fire on Mad River Beach, structure fire in the Greenview area. It was pretty, we were fortunate. I got on scene with APD and basically used a garden hose to put it out, but it was our child playing with a light. And yeah, it was interesting, and we asked mom to have a chat with the child and please seek professional help if she got even some of that. But good kid, but again, 5-year-olds playing with lighters isn't good. Had a structure fire in the Valley West area. So Captain Allen, she was returning from a call, I believe it was a down power line call out in the West End Road area. It was middle of the night, and while returning from the call, they were driving past Tractor Supply and found that there was a fire outside on the exterior of Tractor Supply where they have all their bundles of animal pen, sawdust, and shavings, and things like that. They were on fire. And the sprinkler actually activated and contained the fire. It was arson, and the suspect was arrested a day or 2 later, and he was I won't add any more, there's more pending on that, so. Anyway, happened to be in the right place at the right time. Let's see, we had I think Captain Lillard was on the structure fire on Fisher Avenue, if you want to give an update on that.
This was fire in the kitchen. The resident was outside on the phone speaking to her father while her toddler and partner were inside. She turned around, looked at her front yard and saw smoke pouring out of her open door. Woke up her partner who was taking a nap, got the kid, went outside, then brought a garden hose inside and put out herself. So for our involvement, aside from investigation, there's a lot of overall checking for hidden fire potentially and walls and such like that, to make sure that nothing caught on fire after we left. And had a nice opportunity to provide some public education on the safety risk of extinguishing your own fire. Then also, they didn't have any toddler protection on their gas range for their stove. So that would probably be a good idea with a little 2-year-old running around. Both my kids were very interested in the turning knobs and what they could do. And they were just very overwhelmed, asked for a hug, gave a big old hug, and well.
Smoky hug.
We had a porta potty that had a firework set off in it, and we did have a malfunctioning oven up at the new HHM East building, one of the towers. And although the regular alarms that we were having 3, 4, 5 times a day have since gone away, now it's a couple times a week, I think, at this point. And it's usually kids not familiar with cooking. Arcata leads the charge with 54% of the calls last month, with McKinleyville close second, 32%. We were talking about it before the meeting that even though McKinleyville's down quite a bit, our numbers are one of the highest months we've ever had. So a lower percentage, but higher call volume. Since our auto aid agreement has changed, you can see our numbers have also changed. So we gave aid once and received aid twice. I believe they were to Blue Lake. Yeah. And overlapping calls is roughly 30%, and we're still, as far as the average for all calls, looking at a 4-minute, just over a 4-minute response time. And let's see, we had some maintenance. We have one large maintenance project coming up on.
It's still worked on right now. It's out of service. It's been out of service for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty significant expense. About 30,000, you said? Yeah. About a $30,000 repair on it. That was a turbo.
Water in the coolant, or oil in the coolant system. But actually no coolant in the oil system.
Right. Skid mount pump was ordered. And we had fire prevention open house. I would say there's probably 200 people or so that showed up. Want to thank everybody that was there, all the on-duty crews, VLU was there, spouses were there to help out, and yeah, it was a good event. We only had one, and Augie, the therapy dog, was there. We had one helicopter from Reach. It was not the same crew that was involved down in Sacramento, but at the same time, that crew does come, or that helicopter does come over here. I think that's the extent of the major numbers that we've got. Our fire marshal, he had been out and he came back, so he's still getting on top of his inspections. But yeah, he's back at it, our regular inspection.
I just have a question. You're talking about vehicles. I was coming back from Oregon and I had what looked like our old Pierce Rescue pass me. There's no decals on it. Did we sell it?
It's in the works. I don't want to jinx it this time.
I mean, it was way up north by Oregon.
Chief Peabody took it up there for a show and tell.
Oh, I couldn't tell who was in it, but I just, it had no decals on it, and I thought, well, Is it finally gone?
Close, closer than we've been, the checks in the mail supposedly. But until we get it. It's Georgia Pacific this time, so a little more credible company.
Oh, they have some,
They actually have a fire rescue department, I guess, at the mills, and they're using this for hazmat and rescue.
perfect.
Well, like I said, checks in the mail. I'm not gonna breathe a sigh of relief until we actually get the check.
Okay. Moving on to director matters. Start down at the far end.
Well, I didn't know we were having an open house. Apparently, I'm not paying attention to everything. So I will accept full responsibility for not knowing that and not paying attention. But it would be helpful if an email went out to those of us that aren't at the station on a regular basis. Ahead of those, a few days ahead. And I am going to be in Athens on November 14th.
Georgia?
No. So I will miss the holiday celebration. Thank you for the invitation. If I was here in Humboldt County, I would have come.
Save you some turkey.
Okay.
And the only thing I have is just to make sure the public is aware and to remind my fellow board members at next month's meeting, the second Tuesday is a holiday, it's Veterans Day. So the actual board meeting will be the second Wednesday. It'll be on by one day to accommodate for the holiday, Veterans Day.
And we did that last year at approval of the calendar.
Can you send us an email so that we'll remember to get that on our calendar?
For next month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Next up.
My brain will purge between now and February.
Yeah, I will do that.
Thank you.
Don't remember where I saw that, but I did see that.
That's the first I've heard of that. That's good catch.
And I will be out of the country. Absent.
Well, you can also appear by.
At least you're not out for lunch.
All right, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
I'll sing it.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.